Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and today we are going to do another video on F1 2020, but this time we are going to do something a little bit different. So as you guys probably know, in the new F1 MyTeam mode, they are adding driver ratings. So we're gonna go over all the ratings, because now they finally released all of them. They were releasing them like 3 by 3, and now they're finally all out. And yeah, we're gonna see, because as you might have seen on Twitter and stuff, some drivers such as Leclerc are not too happy about the ratings. Even I am not satisfied with some of the ratings. So today we're going to go over all the ratings and see what I think and what can be improved on. And we're obviously going to see what these ratings are based on as well. So obviously first we have to see what the categories are. So the first one, we have experience. A higher experience score will help it. Experience means the more a driver has been in the sport, the higher it will be, and this will give you will be able to collect a greater number of resource points to upgrade the cars. So that's obviously Kimi is going to have the highest experience number. Of course, he's been in the sport since I've been alive, my whole life. Then we have racecraft. A high racecraft allows the driver to unleash more effective overtakes. That's going to be interesting as well to see how drivers are ranked on that. Then we have awareness. A higher score will mean the driver is less likely to lose control of the car when the going gets tough. So this, I think, means they will do less mistakes and will still run at a higher pace, even though his car maybe has damage or his tires are damaged. And then we have pace, which is quite simply the higher it is, the more quicker a driver will be in a race. So let's start off with the first duo, which is Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas at Mercedes. So obviously Hamilton has been dominant. He is quite possibly the greatest driver in the 2010s. I can assure he's definitely the greatest driver of 2010s, and maybe up there as the greatest driver of all time. But obviously some people have other ideas on that, but he can still have a chance to be the greatest driver statistically of all time. So Lewis has 94 rating, 89 experience, 93 racecraft, 95 awareness, and 96 pace, which in my opinion is quite perfect, really. I don't really see if he doesn't need any more ratings, and I don't think he needs any less. 94 is just like a perfect number for him. So let's move on to Valtteri Bottas. I mean, he's not the worst of drivers. That 99 awareness is a bit too high in my opinion. He's a quick driver, but that 90 rating, as we go on, you will see some drivers, most drivers are actually worse than him, and which are clearly quicker than him on track, which in my opinion 90 rating is a bit overrated for Valtteri Bottas. I would have expected like an 88 or an 89 for Bottas, but 90 it's just too high in my opinion. And as we go on, we will see that Verstappen is also 90, which in my opinion Verstappen is way better than Bottas. I would even say he doesn't hold a candle to Verstappen, but I don't want to be too mean here. But yeah, we also have, as you can see, the contract costs as well, which finally we're gonna have actual money in the game, which as you guys know, we didn't really have any money involved in the game. I think the last time it was actually involved was 2010. I'm not sure about 2011, but 2010 definitely had like wages when you go to teams. But even 2019, for example, had wages, but not actual money. So let's go now to Ferrari. As you can see, you already know that this team is highly underrated in this game. Leclerc, 56 experience. Yes, he's new to the sport, so that I can understand that. 92 racecraft, 82 awareness, and 93 pace. 86 rating? Though, really? He has been really quick. I mean, to put him as even worse than Bottas, I mean, I seriously, before this was out, I expected him to be up there as an 89 or 90. Even Vettel, I mean, he's a 4-time world champion. Yes, he's not been doing too well, but he has to be one of the greatest drivers of this era, so 89 is just too low. I expected him to be at least a 90 or even a 91. So I'm not really sure what is going on here. I don't know what this is based on, but this is just my opinion, and if you do have any different opinions, make sure to put them in the comments. I'd love to see your opinion on these as well. So let's go on now to Red Bull. So Verstappen, 90 rated, pretty deserving of that. I wouldn't give him more because he's still young, he still has a lot of improve. Actually, if these drivers are able to improve their rating across the career, I'm expecting him to go up really high. He's gonna be probably one of those drivers that will be OP in career mode. But yeah, so he has 68 experience, 94 racecraft, 84 awareness, and 96 pace. I think, yeah, that's the same as Hamilton. That is incredible, 96 pace, just like Lewis. And I mean, he's quite deserving of that. I'm not sure if he is at the same level as Bottas. I mean, Bottas has that 99 awareness, really increases Bottas's rating. But yeah, pretty much deserving. He's not been in the sport for too long, even though 68 is a bit low in my opinion. But yeah, I guess in a couple of years he should be able to increase that over 70, even in a year, I think. Then we have Albon, 79 rating. Albon is quite underrated in real life in my opinion, but I think 79 is pretty good for him. 52 experience, 87 racecraft, and 78 awareness, and 83 pace. The pace is a bit slow in my opinion. I'm not a bit low, but yeah, I guess we should compare them to other young drivers like Norris and Russell and see how they compare with them. So now we go to Force India. Perez has 85 rating. In my opinion, that's perfect. He is one of the better drivers. I mean, I would put him in a top seat and he would do great. So Perez is one of those drivers who, if he really wanted, he would have had a great career. He would just, he's bang on average, but he's like the best of the rest. That's how I see him really. So he's got 85 rating, 78 experience, 91 racecraft, 80 awareness, and 86 pace. Then we have his teammate Lance Stroll. I'm not sure 78 is a bit high for him, but his stats are 57 experience, 86 racecraft, 73 awareness, and 83 pace. I think that's good for him. Might be a bit high, but he's been decent. He's not really up to Perez's level, but in terms of races he's quite inconsistent, so I think he deserves that. Now we go to Renault. We have Ricciardo with 87 rating, which I think is good enough for him. 76 experience, which that is too low in my opinion. He's been in the sport since I think 2010, and that is quite low. No, 2011 I think, yeah. And 90 racecraft, 86 awareness, and 90 pace. The awareness is a bit low as well. I expected it to be in the 90s. He's not really a guy to crash a lot and stuff. And racecraft, he is the king of overtakes, so I expected him to be higher than that, and the pace is perfect in my opinion. Then we have Esteban Ocon. He's back in F1 for the season, and I think he's a bit too high. His stats don't really match his rating, to be honest. He has 80 rating, 54 experience, 90 racecraft, 79 awareness, and 82 pace. His racecraft is a bit too high for his rating in my opinion. Yes, he did make 2 years racing in F1. No, actually 2 years and a bit at Manor at the end of the season, replacing Haryanto in 2016, I'm pretty sure. I think he should be like 79. 80 is a tiny bit too high in my opinion, but you know, we'll see how he pairs up with other drivers. Then we have McLaren. We have Carlos Sainz, who's now confirmed to be a Ferrari driver in 2021, and we have his 82 rating. He has 65 experience, 88 racecraft, 81 awareness, and 84 pace. He's bang on in the 80s, average 80s. His experience is pretty good in terms of stats, and pretty much I would have expected him to be a bit higher. He is quite underrated. I mean, he's probably as good as Perez, even though Perez is much more experienced and has been in the sport for much longer. But I mean, I expected him to be maybe 83, 84, but I guess that's alright for now. Norris is 79, 52 experience, 89 racecraft, 78 awareness, and 80 pace, which in my opinion is perfect. He's not been in the sport for long, and he looks to be pretty good for his young age. Now we move to Alfa Romeo. Kimi Räikkönen, one of the most loved drivers in the sport. He has 87 rating, which in my opinion is pretty perfect. I would have, before the ratings were released, I expected him to be around 86 or 87. Definitely not expected him to be 90s. I wouldn't even buy the game if he was in the 90s, because some people really overrate him. He's not a bad driver, but he's past his peak now. I mean, for his age, he's probably the best driver in terms of his old age, but yeah, he's not really up there. He has 98 experience, which is quite expected. 84 racecraft, 91 awareness, and 83 pace, which in my opinion is pretty perfect. Then we have Antonio Giovinazzi. I'm not sure why his experience is so low. His stats overall are pretty low. He is quite underrated, Giovinazzi. He has 47 experience, 73 racecraft, 70 awareness, and 79 pace. I'm not sure which one of those stats he should be better. I mean, experience should be over 50 definitely. This is his second season in the sport. Wait, no, he did race for Sauber before actually getting a full season at Alfa Romeo. So, and he's actually not young, so his experience should be much higher than that. But let's go on now to Alpha Tauri. We have Gasly with 53 experience, 85 racecraft, 87 awareness, and 80 pace, putting his rating up to 80, which in my opinion is pretty good. Not really sure where he could improve. His pace isn't really good, which is quite understanding. Then we have Daniel Kvyat. 80 rating, just like Gasly, 63 experience, 86 racecraft, 74 awareness, and 85 pace. Which is pretty good as well. This is probably the best team in terms of ratings and how much they're accurate. So let's move on to Haas now, which, well, Grosjean is pretty damn good in my opinion. That's his stats. They are perfect in my opinion. I don't think he would have deserved a higher rating, but even though he still would have deserved a lower rating. So 80 is perfect for him. But Magnussen, this is one of the ratings which I do not agree at all with. His experience, I mean, it's alright. Could be a tiny bit higher, but his 78 rating is just disrespectful, really. He's clearly been quicker than Grosjean. He's made much less mistakes than Grosjean, and he still gets a lower rating than Grosjean. In my opinion, he should be at least 82, 81, 82, and his awareness should be much higher than that. They should actually switch their awareness. He should at least have 80. I mean, a perfect rating for Magnussen would be like 68 experience, 80 racecraft, 80 awareness, and 84 pace. That would be good in my opinion, and would put his rating up at least 81 or maybe 82. But yeah, let's go now to Williams. We have George Russell with 75 rating, which in my opinion is so underrated. He has probably been, in my opinion, he's up there to be probably one of the best young drivers from last season. He's been in a shit car really, and he still managed to get decent results, even though he didn't get any points against Kubica. But in my opinion, he's probably that slightly better than Norris and Albon. He should be at least 79, just like Albon and Norris. I don't know why the hell they gave him 75. He has 52 experience, 73 racecraft, 78 awareness, and 80 pace. The pace needs to be much higher than that. Awareness, I think that's good, even though he barely crashed last season. Racecraft should be higher, and experience, I think that's good. Then we have Nicholas Latifi, which in my opinion it's not really fair for him. He didn't even race at all. His experience is quite low. Should be in the 40s though. He's quite old. He's raced a lot. He's tested a lot of cars, and I mean, it's not the first time for him driving an actual F1 car, so should be quite higher than that. He has 60 racecraft, 80 awareness, which is higher than Russell, and 64 pace. His pace is a bit low. His rating is 64, which is really not fair for Latifi, but I really want to see how he does end the season to actually give him a proper rating. He's not actually bad. He's always been up there really in F2 and other racing series, and in the F1 game he's actually pretty damn quick. He's actually one of the quickest, if not the quickest, out of all his F1 colleagues. So he's a bit underrated, but to be honest, you really have to see him drive first to actually give him a rating, so I would understand why they give him a low rating. And I would really want to see how the young drivers, because they're going to be as well F2 drivers, I hope they add actually extra drivers, like imaginary names, randomized names, just to, you know, see how the ratings will be. Also F2 drivers, I wonder if they're gonna give him like 50 rating, 40 rating, even 30. I'm not sure, but now this is the full driver rankings of the game. You can pause the video and look at it and see what do you think. I don't know how this is ranked, Is it ranked by pace? No, it's not. I'm not really sure. It's not ranked by experience. Anyway, you can look at it and see what you think of these ratings. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. That is going to be all. I really can't wait for this game, for the new F1 manager mode. And well, yeah, if you did enjoy this video, guys, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps me out, and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye, guys.